Now, if you're anything like me, you'll know that it's hard to stick to good habits when things get busy, and it's hard to prioritize your life in such a way where you can know that you're always focusing on the most important thing. It's hard to have a schedule without getting sidetracked of some kind of urgent thing that's just dropped into your inbox. But luckily, I have a system in my calendar which allows me to do all of those things right. It makes sure that I'm always sticking to my good, positive habits. It makes sure that I'm making time for the important work, and on any given day, it means I'm prioritizing my work in such a way where I'm always focusing on the most important thing. So in this video, that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to open up my calendar and show you how I construct any given week to make sure that I'm hitting my habits, I'm focusing on the priorities, and I'm getting as much done in any given day as possible. So let's jump into the calendar and I'll show you how I do it. So this is a blank week in my calendar, and I've gone ahead and deleted everything that was already in here because of course I can't be showing you what's actually in my calendar. But what I'm going to do is build into this week in the calendar exactly how my week would actually look, showing you all of the different time blocking methods, the different colors for tags and systems, and show you exactly how I plan my week. Now, as I hinted at there, my week is made up of different blocks of colors. I use a method called time boxing, which is essentially where you plan out every single minute of your day. So from the moment when you begin working, or indeed the moment when you wake up, through to the moment when you either stop working or go to bed, you know what you should be doing. Now, I begin with yellow blocks, and yellow blocks are habits, right? So I'm gonna pull here between 7 a.m. and 9:15 a block, and I'm gonna call it gym day morning routine. And then I'm gonna go into the tags, and I'm gonna tag it as yellow, which is habits and routines. And then I'm gonna make that repeat on a custom schedule. And it's going to be Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. And I'm going to extend this out for, say, 12 occurrences. So for the next 12 weeks, this will fall into the calendar in that block. And then I hit save. So now I have got my morning routine for days when I go to the gym. So this is on a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, and a Saturday. It tells me that I'm going to be waking up at 7 a.m. and that I need to be finished with the gym by 9:15 a.m. So typically for me, this is waking up, getting ready, driving to the gym with an audiobook on, going to the gym, doing my workout, showering in the gym, getting back to the car park, and being in the car on the way to go to the office. But there are days when I don't go to the gym, right? So on these ones, I'm going to say non-gym morning routine. I'm going to tag these as yellow because it is still a habit to wake up and have a morning routine even on the days when I don't go to the gym. I'm going to click to have it repeat on a custom schedule, and that's going to be Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And again, I'm going to have that repeat for, we'll say 13 occurrences because it's just easier doing it that way. Click save. So there we go. Now in my calendar, I have a bunch of yellow blocks at the beginning of the day which tell me each day what time I need to be waking up and what I'm going to be doing in any given morning. Now I also use these yellow blocks to tell me when to have my lunch and when to go on a walk. So I'm just going to call this lunch and walk. Now every single day where possible, particularly on the weekdays, I like to make sure that in the middle of the day I am going for a walk straight after having my lunch, and I'm trying to do 7,500 steps each day. So again, if this wasn't in my calendar, this would be left up to guesswork, and I'd have to try and work out exactly when in any given day I can fit in a walk, whereas doing it this way, and I have it repeat every weekday, Monday to Friday, and click save, that is then blocked out in my calendar so that I know that in the middle of each day I'm having my lunch and then I'm going for a walk on any given working day. And then the final thing I add in here is to call my mum. I know it seems silly to put that in a calendar as a reminder, but actually, if you don't have a reminder to do it, it's so easy for things to get busy. So on the drive home from the office, typically on every working day, so if I do repeat every weekday, save, again, that means every day then I'm going to make sure that if I haven't already in the day, I have a reminder to phone my mum. Really important thing to do. Make sure you're doing it. Now, I run a business called Patter, and there are tasks within the business which are kind of internal tasks that I need to be taking care of every single week predictably. So I also add these in as repeatable tasks. So there is a block of sales stuff that I need to get done every week. So I just call this Patter Sales, and there's some kind of salesy admin tasks that I get done on a Monday late afternoon. And I'm going to tag this purple as Patter Fixed Tasks. On a Wednesday afternoon, similarly, Patter Content. So this is filming bits and pieces of content, reviewing video edits, making sure that everything that we produce as an agency for ourselves is going out. And then I do a little bit of sales admin on a Friday morning as well, just checking in where we're at for any given week. So that goes in as a repeated task as well. So then I have yellows and I have purples. Now, so far in my calendar, all of my habits and routines, which are the kind of underpinning of my life, are taken care of. And then also the internal tasks that it's so easy not to do as a business owner because other stuff crops up, right? They're already in my calendar, which means that if I want to remove them, I have to physically remove them rather than just conveniently forget to do them because other things are more important. So now we have the yellows and the purples in my calendar. Now the next thing is reds. So this is personal content that I produce. So on a Thursday evening from about 6 p.m. to about 9 p.m, I will typically be either recording a solo episode of Life and Lessons, my podcast, or I'll be editing or reviewing an episode which is ready to go out the next day with a guest. So this is going in every Thursday and it's tagged as personal content. So I'm going to click repeats every Thursday weekly, save, and then on a Monday evening, so at the beginning of each week, I spend a couple of hours producing short form content for myself. So this is things like Reels and TikToks and YouTube Shorts and all that kind of stuff that you see me produce. That is filmed once a week on a Monday evening. My Mondays are fairly intense relative to every other day of the week, but I like to just get lots out of the way on a Monday. So again, I'm going to go repeats weekly on Monday. And then for the other days throughout the week when I want to be publishing a short, I would say edit short form content, this will be red. This happens in the evening time. This sometimes moves earlier on in the day, but the reminder is there to almost make sure that I don't forget if I haven't yet done it by this point. And then I'm going to click repeat custom, and that's going to happen on a Tuesday, Wednesday, a Thursday. Then we'll click save, and so then that's populated. I typically actually delete it from the Thursday because of the podcast and do it like this. So then in my calendar now, we have all of the personal habits that I want to be sticking to. We have all of the internal business tasks that repeat every single week predictably, and we have the short form content and the long form content that I want to be producing that I know happens repeatedly every single week at the same time on the same day. So what I then next build in is travel time. Now, I don't know on this random week that I've pulled up whether I'm going to be traveling, but let's say that on the Saturday, I plan to travel from Wales to Corby. So the office is in Wales, my home is in Northamptonshire. So I'm gonna add in 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, I'm gonna add in 4 hours to travel, if I can make this the right thing, and then say drive to Corby, and I make this gray. Now the reason I make this gray and plan the time in is A, so I'm not planning to do anything else, but B, then I can say, for example, listen to XYZ podcast, and I can add a note, which is like a link to Spotify for a podcast that I know I want to listen to but haven't yet had a chance, and I can drop that in the middle, which means that I know that when I'm on this drive to somewhere, I have the time blocked out to make sure that I'm not planning anything else into that travel time. But then I can also have passive tasks like listening to audiobooks or podcasts or phoning people even planned into that dwell time. So then we have the routines, we have the internal business stuff, we have the personal content stuff, and we have any travel time that I know is coming up that has to be accounted for in the calendar. And then this is where the normal planning of any given day comes in. So I plan my days the night before. Every single night before I leave the office, or if I'm at home before I go and get ready for bed or whatever it might be, I make sure that I have a hour by hour plan of exactly everything that I need to be doing the next day. Now I use, like I say, the time boxing, the time blocking method, whatever you want to call it. And it's fairly basic in the way that I do it. And I can't actually show you a huge amount of how I would exactly do it because I can't put real tasks in my calendar and show you because of the clients we work with and whatever. But what I'm going to do is basically just build out like task 1, right? This would be a task that I need to do in the day, and then maybe task 2, we'll call this. And then I'm going to call this block here emails and admin. This will become clear why in a minute, and then say task 3 here and task 4. So then let's focus in on a day, because of course for each day there would be these blue blocks. A blue block is a standard task or an event or a meeting or whatever I need to be doing in that day to focus my time on working on the most important things. Now I get this information through like the work management system that we use. There's that, and there's internal meetings, and there's all of these different sources, my inbox, whatever it might be, which inform what I need to be working on here. That's not what this video is about per se, but essentially just know that these blue blocks will be prioritized in a certain way to make sure that every task that I need to get completed, either for us as a business or for a client, is being done on time with enough breathing room to help it be reviewed and whatever it might be. And then I'm prioritizing and stacking my day in such a way where I'm working on the most important things first, and then things which could get moved around are further down in the day, so that if something overruns, I can move things around without causing too much issue. So let's now focus in on a day, because what I do is I have a counterpart document. Now this document works alongside this calendar entry, and it becomes this kind of cheat sheet of absolutely everything that I need to be doing in a given day. So let's build out that cheat sheet for this random day here that we picked, the 24th of April. So 24th April 2023. I typically actually also put the day. I bold this, I click here so it becomes the title, and then I click up here to make a tick list in Google Docs. Now I'm essentially going to replicate everything that I see here in this calendar with the component pieces into this document. So for example, and I literally go as granular as I'm about to show you, wake up. That's something I need to do in the day, right? Electrolytes, that's something that I do immediately upon waking, and then get ready, and then it will be drive to the gym, listen to XYZ audiobook. Always listen to an audiobook on the way to the gym, and then gym, let's say it's what's a Monday, a push day, and then drive to the office, and then breakfast. Now that is that yellow block accounted for, and then task 1, obviously that would be a real task. For this, we're just calling it task 1, task 2. Now, this next block is interesting, emails and admin. So before lunch, there are going to be a bunch of things that I need to do which don't really fall into a particular task, right? There are these distractions, there are these things that have come into my inbox, they're minor things that I need to do. It's the returning of a parcel, it's charging a device to make sure I can film a video, whatever it might be. I like to block these all together and have a really focused and intentional period in the day to make sure that I'm getting those things done. So let's make up a bunch of things that might be in Monday the 24th of April's emails and admin block. So like reply to Sam, send email to John, turn Amazon package, charge wireless microphones. I also use emails and admin to do tiny tasks which are almost like feedback actioning or tweaking of something which was worked on in another day that doesn't deserve its own full block of time because it won't take long enough. So like make changes to XYZ document, post Instagram story for XYZ thing, and I don't know, make notes from meeting with Sally, right? So that would be a emails and admin block, those 6 or 7 tasks which correspond with that block there. So I know that in the hour between midday and 1 p.m, I'm going to be working through all of the little tasks that I need to get done in any given day to move projects forward, to take care of life admin stuff, to book appointments, to return packages, whatever it might be. Then I have lunch, and then I have my walk always planned in, and then there'd be task 3, there'd be task 4, and then patter sales, and then record short form content, edit reel, plan tomorrow, drive home, phone mum, right? So that seems really in depth, and you might think that that seems needless given that I have this here, which is a calendar telling me everything I need to do. But then when you pair these two things together, my calendar will tell me everything that I need to be doing in a given week to make sure that I'm always getting all of the repeatable tasks in there before I build out my days, to make sure that I'm building out my days around the repeatable tasks, around the good habits, around the things that need to get done. Then within the blocks of time that are left, because of course when you do it this way, you only have the time left which is shown to you. That is the beauty of time boxing. You can't fit everything into your life that you want to. You can't even sometimes fit everything into a day that you need to. So this system here, with the constraints that it brings, forces you to prioritize. So by doing this, you then put all the tasks in, you know what you're doing on any given day. But then crucially, from beginning to end of the day, this document really helps me as well, because not only does it give you the momentum of being able to tick stuff off and just feel like you're getting stuff done, but it gives you a perfect, written in such a way that you understand it at a glance, brief of everything you need to be doing and when. So I know that as soon as I finished, say, replying to Sam and sending the email to John, I then need to stand up to return that package. And then as soon as I get back from my walk, once I've had my lunch, I need to be working on task 3. And as soon as I film this content, I need to be editing a reel. These two documents together satisfy everything that I spoke about at the beginning of the video, right? I am getting done everything I need to. I'm sticking to all of my good habits, and I'm not having tasks fall off the face of the earth. I'm not forgetting to do things. I'm not accidentally working on something which is a lower priority. And so that is it. That is exactly how I plan my weeks and my days, and then how I make a to-do list for my day to make sure that I'm always focusing on the most important things, that I'm not forgetting to do important tasks, that I always have a prioritization of what to do when in my day, and crucially, I'm not forgetting to or making excuses to avoid the big important habits which actually underpin all of this productivity and actually help move our lives forward. I hope this video was useful. This is everything for today, but if you did find this one useful, please do make sure that you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.